Good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, really great pleasure for me to see every one of you here this evening. And our very heartiest compliments to everyone at ET Now for being consistent with this program for now 13 years. And for each of the 13 years, let me just share, it has been a great privilege for us for being part of this wonderful initiative and program. And of all awards, like Piyush Goyal mentioned earlier in the program, of all programs, like the minister spoke, the MSME award function is brings some excitement and thrill among all of us, because we know everyone here has worked very hard to come where they are. We all understand and we know that, generally speaking, the small entrepreneurs, the micro entrepreneurs, have the hardest life, because their cost of funds is the highest. They have to navigate so many of the rules and regulations and so on. The ability to hire employees are relatively lesser. Unit cost economics are relatively higher. It's hard life. And as you go up the chain, let me just say that when you become a small enterprise, it's a bit better. When you become medium enterprise, life is a little more better. Large corporate, of course, you get the lowest cost of funds. You get the best talent of employees you can hire. So life gets better and better. I can only say that, even when we were a startup, say 15 years ago, and at that point of time, our business financing number was, let me just say, maybe about 90 crores, 100 crores. Today, it's 1.56 lakh crores on the business financing alone in 15 years. Guys, just let me tell you that this is something, we've lived this life ourselves, and very hard. When we started, we were borrowing as an NBFC, we were borrowing money at 13% rate of interest. We were lending at 24%. Now, over a period of time, and whom can you lend at that rate? We were lending at that rate to really small micro entrepreneurs, kirana shops, salons, chemists, etc. Then over a period of time, our rating went up. Our cost of funds came down to 9% or 10%. A book became 30,000 crores. Then later in 2018, we merged with IDFC Bank. We became a bank. Now our cost of funds come down to 6%. And therefore, scale has become bigger. Now loan book is like 2.8 lakh crores. The deposits are under 2.8 lakh crores. So life is better. Of course, we feel life is better now. But transiting this life from being a relatively small entity to a let me say, medium-sized entity today, our combined business is about 5.8 lakh crores. We have 40 million customers. Like I said, our deposit book is growing by 20% plus. So while in the transition we have experienced it, and I can therefore feel every entrepreneur who's coming through this tracks how hard or easy this job must be. In that context, to come through the award ceremony and reach here, and hopefully all the winners will win today, really very, very heartiest compliments from all of us at IDFC First Bank. Now, and let me also say that today's subject that I saw here is agility, ambition, and ascent. Okay, let me just speak about one subject, agility. We all saw, during COVID, that many MSME or SMEs who were into garment making, within a matter of month, 2 months, they pivoted into making PPEs. I don't remember the full form of PPE. I think personal protection equipment, I'd imagine. But the PPEs, they converted to making PPEs at that point of time. And India was the initial importer of PPE. India became an exporter. Why? Because MSMEs could pivot, and because they had agility for that. They had the agility to become from a, let me say, an offline entity to becoming an online entity. Pharma companies who were started making alcohol-based sanitizers, they could do that. And each one of you, of course, represent that ability to have agility. The second thing that you talked about is ambition. You can see that in everybody, right? And this ambition, of course, to be fair, is your ambition. There's nothing happens achieved without ambition and wanting to achieve something, but also supported by the fact that the Indian government has been making a very pro-business, policies, so much of effort for the ease of doing business over the last many years, where India's gone up in the ease of doing business ranking, so much of effort for Make in India, and each one of these things will actually power it up. We know life is difficult, but at the same time, with the evolution and the growth of Indian economy, currently 4 trillion, we're now talking of 30 trillion, as India goes towards the 2047 Viksit Bharat. All this will be a big opportunity. When we talk of, AI, talk of agility, again, the big thing is, of course, AI. So many people often worry, with the arrival of AI, will it be detrimental for MSMEs or will it be a positive for MSMEs? And I'll try to address that in a very brief way. So it is true that large corporations, with the arrival of AI, are able to, hire the best people, to do the transformations and put the stack together and so on. But it can also be a very big leveler, trust me on this front, because if you're a startup and you try to make a website in the earlier era, it would be very expensive for you. Today, you know how you can make a website. No, you can do, it can come up like that. Similarly, developing a mobile app. People can make mobile, of course, not a fully deep integrated system mobile app, but at least the basic architecture with the latest design, you can make a mobile app in maybe a matter of weeks, and a reasonably good looking, reasonably functional one with all the API connected, etc. Not into all your tooling systems, into your integrated systems, but good enough for a start. If you think of, if you're making an ad, in the earlier days, for example, large corporations would have an ad agency. The ad agency would, make the ad, and they would come back to you. Of course, it would take more time. But today, you could all of you know that you can go to any of these applications. You can give a prompt, and you can get an ad out. It may not be very perfect, but you can good for a start and so on. So I'm trying to just point out to you that this AI is a massive, force multiplier. And in a way, for the examples I gave you, small enterprises playing field has been leveled, in my opinion, and can actually get faster, provided you're able to consume it and have the proclivity for it. Otherwise, you'll fall behind. Earlier, I used to actually say in some of these forums that if you are not digitally enabled, no matter how hardworking you are, how motivated you are, how much of ambition you have, you're going to go nowhere. But I'd say definitely if you're not in the AI world and not fully clued on, you will fall behind. And doesn't mean you need to have all the AI skills yourself. It's not that complicated, but there are many entities who can provide you the solutions from outside as a horizontal, which can work for your entire industry. I do feel that for every MSME who's in this room, it is really a big opportunity. The startup ecosystem is coming about. Every startup in turn will require the MSME architecture. The Reserve Bank of India is supporting it. They're calling it a priority sector. The government is supporting it. You can see the announcements coming in the budget. So you get the drift that you got the support of the entire ecosystem, and that's a really big thing because we all grow with the support of the ecosystem. So on behalf of all of us at IDFC First Bank, I want to just say a very big thank you to every one of you for being who you are and for your enterprise. And together, all of you are really making India and are bringing the employment to the country and so on and so forth, and bringing new solutions for all of us in the country. So thank you very much, every one of you. And once again, very special thanks to ET. Thank you very much. I want to just say that in the closing, that when I just walking by, my colleagues here also said, say something about IDFC First Bank. So I said a few things to you in the passing, but I must read out to you some very special features that IDFC has for you. It's let me say, partial our event. So let me just take the opportunity of saying that on the business banking front, actually, bank is giving current account with 0 fees on 40 services. On 40 services, 0 fees, IMPS, NEFT, RTGS, you name the services, cash pickup, cash delivery, all that. It's a one app for your business need and your personal need. You can avail your QR and a Soundbox and a POS and PG. You can have escrow and BBPS and eNash, API, ERP banking, bulk tax payments. Converting a current account to fixed deposit. The bank has put together a lot of stack. We'll really be very happy for all of you to avail from IDFC, and also to close. to every one of the winners of this evening. Very, very heartiest compliments from every one of you. We have many dignitaries. We see Naina Lal Kedwai here, and we saw Pawan Goenka here, and we saw every one of the jury. I know many of them, and they are really stellar people with high levels of achievement and integrity. So whoever is winning today, you truly deserve it. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.